Heyo! Hey, and welcome back to the letter. My friends are being bitches, like usual. What else is new? Except for Zach. He's a sweetheart. Look at him. He's so cute standing there. He's wonderful. Anyway, we're redoing this scene again, because God knows this game likes to just redo scenes that really don't need to be explained further. But someone has to be patient in all of this, and however much my own has already been frayed earlier, there is no one else. Who else here can deal with someone so selfishly acting like a child? Like every other time, it has to be me.
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Just like that, she cuts us off. Slams the door right in our faces while my own temper flares before I can stop it. Although it falters briefly at the hard expression on her, when she snatches the blasted paper from Ashton, I hold onto it. Regardless of how upset she appears, sour expression and balled fist throwing a tantrum is simply unacceptable. For a grown woman at that. Words form on the tip of my tongue, ready. But before I can open my mouth and let all of it out, her feelings and mistakes be damned, Zachary raises a voice of his own.
Guys!
A warning, underneath the warm and hopeful beat in his voice. We all stop and look at him, and even my own anger subsides a little at his tone.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Also, like, hey Becca, I know you were being like, oh, she should act like an adult. Maybe don't yell at her like a child then. Maybe just, like, don't be rude to your friend. Oh, her feelings be damned. Like, who cares? If your friend is that, like, scared of something, maybe, I don't know, listen to her? God damn. Zach's the only good friend here. Zach, you and Isabella, come on. We're gonna go kill the ghost. Jesus.
And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
To an outsider, it may seem like a desperate request, but Zachary has always been the one to keep a level head over petty squabbles. This time's no different. He knows what to say, and when he lets it fall, they only ring sharp and true.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
And as careful as he is with his own tone, it does make me feel ashamed. We're supposed to be there for him, to give him the little support we can give. Yet here he is, trying to keep the three stubborn people from outright hashing it out in public. Later, we can and will talk about it, of course. There's a proper time and place for it, in a moment. My anger and whatever reprimands it carries no longer matter. Besides me, Ashton appears to have already caught on. The lines of his shoulders ease to something much more relaxed, his expression back to its usual nonchalance. Nonchalance. Isabella, however. She stands perfectly still, her hands clasping the straps of her bag like a lifeline, eyes trained at some point near her shoes. There's no anger in her face, only an undeniable hurt. But she's never been good at hiding what she thinks, always the open book, always the one to wear her heart out in the open. And when she looks up, her answer is also as simple.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Her lips are curled up into a smile, though lacking both its usual brightness and glee, it's a smile nonetheless. I've seen it countless times. It's the very same one she would show when she knows she has no other choices, or simply when things get tough for her. But despite everything I already know about her, it still catches me off guard. In all honesty, I expected her to run, to balk at the first sign of losing this time. I won't even be surprised. At 26, she's the youngest among the rest of us, less experienced, less accustomed to dealing with trivial quarrels like this. Yet here she is, holding herself and coping with it, like how she would with matters concerning her family. Outside of that, to me, she's always been this childish, naive girl watching the opposite play out right now. Somehow, I find it difficult to wrap my head around it.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
He deserves it. But I envy her.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
Just kill him. Just push him into the street. I envy her spirit, her warmth, her cheer, the shine in her eyes when she looks at the world. How everything seems to simply fall back to a pleasant, lively rhythm with her around. How easily and tightly she fits into our lives, even without bonds only long years could forge, like a lost piece of a puzzle despite her jagged edges. How she draws people to her with ease. How Ashton, of all people, can be drawn to her.
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too. If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
I make no effort keeping the bitterness from my tone. I let it seep, linger stiffly in the air as I avert my gaze from them. From their playful banter, their friendly teasing remarks, and Ashton's tender, affectionate smiles. All before the stabbing aches in my heart change into something too painful to bear. It's all in my head, is what I'd often tell myself. Yet, the way my heart rends at just the sight of them hurts. And like a coward, I walk away from it all, taking with me a small hope the movie will distract me away from these thoughts. Because, like this, it's easy to find something to hate in her. Thank God we get to skip the movie. I was so worried we're gonna have to sit there the whole time with her just being like, God, I'm just so jealous. Dusk has already given way to the night when we leave the film fest. Unfortunately, it does nothing to improve my mood like I'm hoping. Neither does the muggy air that greets us upon stepping back out into the noisy streets. Too busy. Too loud. Too many people talking, taking what little space the sidewalk offers. It forces anyone to bump shoulders with those they barely know, let alone care about. On a normal evening, I probably wouldn't have minded the crowd nor the humid weather. It's not like any of them are bothering anyone. And yet, even with what's admittedly a pleasant company, I can't bring myself to lighten up.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya.
Not even to return the smiles Ashton and Zachary give us when we go our separate ways. Perhaps this started with Miss Cooper's call, or earlier than that. Maybe even the moment I left bed this morning. Bloody hell. It could have been because of that sodding letter. Sodding letter, for all I know. Sodding. Is that supposed to be like another way to say like fuck? I don't know what that means. Is it a soldering iron? I couldn't care less at this point. All I want to do is get in the warm bath, sleep, and wait for this dreadful day to end. Now, if only Isabella would stop babbling, then maybe this dull throbbing at the side of my head. Dude, that's like your best friend and you're kind of just being a bitch. I don't get it. Is this how a friend group works? Like, I never feel this way about literally any of my friends. Is this how, like, a quote-unquote normal friend group is supposed to function? I don't get it. God. My head won't turn into a full-blown headache, too.
Zach did a pretty good job with his movie, didn't he? Even though Ash said he ran into some trouble late into filming. But I knew he had it in him. It's not like I didn't believe he couldn't do it. I mean, did you see his face after the credits rolled? All those months he worked on this, and everything's finally...
You weren't even watching.
Only the first minutes. I watched the rest of it, I swear. Besides, Ashton was the one who wouldn't stop asking questions.
Well, why do we still need to talk about this then? I liked it. Ash liked it. You liked it. Shouldn't you be telling that to Zachary in person? I'm sure he'll appreciate it better than I ever will.
What? Rebecca, oh my God, can you not be a bitch for like 2 seconds? Jesus. Like, if you're having like a bad day or having a headache, just say that. And like, Isabella will probably be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, like, we can walk in silence. It's not that hard to just be open and honest. Oh my God.
I know that, but maybe there's something you want to say? Zach had you check the scripts before he went through everything, didn't he? You also worked on it, even if it was only for a short time. Maybe you want to...
I don't bother waiting for the rest. The moment I spot my car, I immediately make a quick beeline for it. Knowing her, this is merely another attempt to start a conversation, just so we'll have something to fill the dead air, to replace the strained atmosphere we've somehow walked into. Walked into? Girl, you caused the tense air because you're being a bitch. You can't be like, oh, we walked into it. You literally, first of all, you created it and you pushed everybody else into it. Oh my God. One thing, the very thing I'm not too keen to deal with at the present. Behind me, Isabella also changes her pace to match mine, her soft strides growing brisk and uneven in order to catch up. A small part of me half expects she'd suddenly trip. She's not the clumsy sort, but there's definitely times when she could be at least the least coordinated person on the planet.
Becca, hey! Oh no. Wait for me!
And people wonder why I worry. Do you, though? Do you? Because, again, you're being, like, really rude to her right now. They're not really completely unfounded once you've already grown familiar with her habits. Though right now, this is also at the very end of a list of things I want to think about. Sometimes it does become overbearing. Even her voice as she calls after me sounds nothing more like the background noise to my ears now.
Rebecca, slow down, will you? Your car's not going to leave without us.
The sooner we get on the road, the earlier we can get home. It's Friday, in case you didn't notice.
I know what day it is, but the traffic's not going to magically disappear, even if we go there right now.
I don't want to hear that from you. Didn't you used to complain how horrendous the traffic is back home for you?
Yeah? But that doesn't have anything to do with this, Becca.
Okay. What do you want to do then? Wait it out? Walk? I just want to go home, Isabella. If you want to stay out here longer, I won't stop you. But leave me out of it. I'm not up for any other foolish excursions tonight.
You can't see me, but I'm just like, my head is tipped back, staring at the ceiling, and I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now.
I wasn't thinking about an excursion. I want to go home too. It's already late. It's just that you've been in this prickly mood since earlier. Are you really okay? Was it the cold? Or did something happen at school? Do you want to talk about it?
A long pause follows, and it holds everything she's been meaning to ask me from the very start. I'm in no mood, but all the same, my hand stops short of unlocking my car, and my grip on the handle tightens. I can feel her eyes boring into me, waiting, hoping patiently for answers I'd give. She's the same as Zachary. They're bad liars. But when you talk to people like them, if you're not careful, they often leave you with no other choice but to admit the truth. Those exact same ones I can't voice. Despite my lack of response, she pushes on, surprisingly. This time her tone is quieter, more tentative than usual.
Was it because of the letter?
It's a well-meaning question, much like the rest of this talk, yet something in how she says it irks me.
If it is, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to cause a scene. I did see something in the mansion, though. I wasn't lying about that.
Wherever she wants to take this, I no longer want to hear a word of it. Not at this minute. Preferably never. Especially when there are already a million other things buzzing and prodding inside my head. Sometimes my patient can only... I'm not gonna be a bitch to her. Like, excuse me? God, okay. Isabella, ditch Ash, ditch Rebecca. They deserve each other, whatever. Just go hang out with Zach. Just hang out with Zach. He's the best. You get Marianne in this. Like, Marianne's okay. She's a little standoffish, but, like, she has good intentions sometimes. Okay, where are we with... Are we... Really? 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 God damn it. Okay.
And during the open house, even if there were a lot of people around, there were weird things happening.
I don't know why they would give me the mean option. Like, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not Becca.
I don't know if there was anyone else who noticed, but I heard things.
Oh, fun fact, Becca also saw things, actually.
I'm sure it wasn't because I fell down the stairs. Even before that, in the attic,
Isabella.
Yeah?
A pause, though I don't let it last, only to give myself a small window to breathe before I lay down the words between us, with as much restraint my patience allows, which is not much after everything. I can only hope Isabella will simply take them as they are. She can be stubborn as a mule when she wants to be.
This kind of conversation tonight. Look, it's been a long day. I think this cold also caught up with me, and I'm really exhausted. Can we talk about this some other time?
She blinks, and although disappointment flashes momentarily in her face, she gives me a curt nod. A relief enough for me, perhaps the first time I genuinely felt it today. As unpleasant as this day has been, seeing something go the way I anticipated takes the edge out of it. Even if lying through my teeth had to go with it.
Oh, alright. You should have just said so.
Oh my god! I just said earlier, just speak your mind. Just say a thing. Oh my god. I knew. I was like, Isabella's not gonna be mean. She's not a mean person. She'll just be like, oh, of course, like, cause she's a kind human being. You didn't have to be a bitch.
I told you should have taken a full week off. Were you able to get the meds I brought you, though? Do you need anything? I could drop by the pharmacy for you.
She's such a good friend. You're so nice.
Yeah, no need to fuss. A good night's sleep is all I need. I've been busy the whole day. I guess I should have listened to you and taken it easy. But we have exams to prepare for. It's one or the other, you know?
I knew it! Here I thought you were just upset about something. Even Ash looked a little bit worried about you.
It's fine. Let's just head home, okay? I'll make it up to you next time. Call me out to lunch or wherever. Just... not right now.
Okay, but should you be driving? If you want, I can call a taxi for us. You'll hate paying the extra fees, but you'll be able to get some rest on the way home.
No, don't call a cab. I can manage driving at least. Just get in the car so we can be on our way.
I'm already opening the door and climbing into the seat before she can protest. Left with no other choice, she follows inside shortly, albeit with a bit of reluctance. The guilt from this will eat me up later, but for now, these little falsehoods are mine to bear and hide under. For now, this is a better choice. Better than pretending she doesn't exist or giving her vague answers. Certainly better than harsh words and outright lashing out at her. I can find a little comfort in that. Thankfully, if there's anything left to be spoken between us after, we don't have to discuss it on the way home. Or rather, we can't. Because no sooner than we hit the road, Isabella dozes off. Despite my beep, despite my... Shh, don't wake... Guys, don't wake up Isabella! Despite my foul mood, I still ended up suppressing a laughter. Just a singular laughter, like a, huh! And that's it, just one laughter. Once the first sound of her breathing fills the car.
Mama?
Not your mom, Isabella.
Ooh. Slow and steady, the quiet rhythm so completely unlike her, so far removed from every impression anyone has of her. A few faint whimpers will occasionally come from her, but otherwise, it's just us, the silence, and it's so utterly unexpected. Still, a welcome break, of course. Peace and quiet is one thing you'll rarely get with her around. Yet, it's nowhere near comforting. It merely lends the air this strange clarity, even little sound, every single moment more palpable. And with it comes the unease. A jolt of surprise hits me. It's almost comical. Beep, beep. Guys, you're all gonna wake up Isabella. She's trying to sleep. It's almost comical if there were a different situation. In my haste, I accidentally dislodge my mobile from its seat on the dashboard when I swipe on the screen. Soon, I'm scrambling blindly for it with my other hand, while keeping a steady eye on the road ahead. A voice crackles loud from the speaker before I can put it back. Although muffled heavily by the surface, I recognize the person on the other end of the line from her chipper tone alone.
Hello?
Miss Cooper?
Oh, you're still awake. Evening. I hope I didn't disturb you or anything. I know it's a bit late. Sorry about that. I just want to check on you and Isabella. That girl's still not answering her mobile. Were you able to meet up with her?
Yes. She's with me. We're on our way home.
Hello? What was that again? I can't hear you properly.
Sorry. Let me just fix this dumb phone.
Beep, beep. My hand stops dead for a moment. I spare the device a brief glance, waiting. Seconds pass. Nothing happens, though. Frankly, I'm not sure what I'm expecting, but the lines of my mouth form into a frown regardless.
Miss Cooper?
Yes, still here.
Did you say something?
Just that I didn't get the last part. What were you saying again?
No, I thought you... Never mind. Must be the signal acting up. Coming in?
What?
Is everything all right over there?
Certainly. Is something wrong? What wouldn't? Okay, you seem to be busy. If this is a good time, I can just call you back some,
I have to make a beep beep. Can you hold off the beep for 2 seconds, please? I have to make a conscious effort not to panic right then and there, although my tight hold of the steering wheel tells a different story altogether.
Miss Cooper! Rose? Hey, Rose! Are you still there?
Only a burst of static answers me in. Maybe this lapse is entirely because of exhaustion. It has been a long day, and I haven't fully recovered from last week's bout of flu, contrary to what I've been telling people. Though, perhaps had I paid closer attention to it, had I not been so occupied with other thoughts, I probably would have noticed earlier that it never came from my phone, but from somewhere right behind me. Hey! Hey, what's up? How you doing? I didn't know I had a passenger. I'm not your Uber. Time slows to a crawl. Looking up is a mistake. The fact that she's seeing this and she's gonna be like, oh, it's hallucinations, and still not believe Isabella, it's gonna kill me inside. The first thing I see is its face, a ghastly shade, every inch battered, bruised, and bloodied. Even in the darkness and the world passing by in a blur of the lights outside, I could still make out the wounds. Blood still oozes from it, little trails of crimson running down its face, glistening under what little light there is. But it's the gleam in the eye that catches mine. The quiet plea, the anguish, the desperation in them, more than its hideous feature. Excuse me, she's not that hideous. Like, she could use a bath and a nurse, and maybe just like a hospital stay, but she doesn't look that bad. More than its hideous features and the awful stench of gore now soaking the air. Try as I might, I can't bring myself to look away, even as its lips contort into a horrific smile. Even as a sharp, harsh noise pierces the air and the silence around us.
Rebecca! Huh? Car! Eyes on the road!
Against everything I've been taught... Beeping! Can you stop? Against everything I've been taught and I've constantly reminded of, I close my eyes. It's a brief moment. A short, vivid second of muscle memory and instinct completely taking over. And if I didn't allow it, if my hands didn't move, my feet didn't hit the brakes in that second, I might have... Isabella and I might have... No. I shake the notion away before I lose myself in it. Right now, it's an ugly line of thought I refuse to venture into. Now when breathing is a struggle and every ounce of strength has been totally drained from my body. Most definitely now while Isabella's panicked voice beside me still rings in my ears. We're alive. We're safe. That's all that matters. But it's not her face that I looked for when I finally opened my eyes. All gone. I expected stains, little telling marks and creases on the covers to show where it sat not a second ago. But whatever it is, left not a single trace. And though courage is a hard thing to gather at this point, I take what little of it remains in me and turn around in the back seat. Even then, there's none. Or was there really something in there in the first place? With how empty it is, I'm beginning to doubt it. This stupid flu again.
I need a long rest after this.
My hands fall uselessly to my sides, numb from how taut my grip on the wheel has gone, yet still trembling from the unexpected rush of adrenaline. Against my ears, my heart still pounds in erratic rhythm, and my breathing hasn't slowed down. But the world has already righted itself without waiting for me, and little by little, second after second, as I sit here motionless, color begins to seep back around me. Along with it are the sounds and a voice, no longer the indistinct ringing it was earlier.
Rebecca! Becca! Are you okay? Answer me, will you? You're scaring me! You know what? I think we should just call a taxi since...
Can you keep it down?
Why wasn't this shown earlier? Like, did they really have to... Did they really have to, like, hide this from us just to keep Becca's route just, like, a tiny bit interesting? Like, this seems kind of important. Strained, beep beep. Strained, harsh, and completely unintentional. But with heat prickling at the back of my eyes and the mild throbbing at my temple, I could honestly do with a little silence for now.
Keep it down? We almost crashed, Becca!
I know what happened. It was a lapse. I'm sorry.
A lapse? You call that a lapse? Becca, I really don't want to end up a mangled mess on the side of the road, or a mangled mess anywhere.
Oh, huh, Maybe don't leave your house for a little while, Isabella. Ooh.
All I'm asking, if the time ever comes, which I hope isn't right now, is a peaceful death. Give that one to me at least. Not that I'm asking for it, but please.
Isabella. Belle, you're overreacting.
Is she?
If you're so worried, why don't you drive?
I don't have a license.
I keep telling you to get one, didn't I? For the past 5 years. Do you see why now?
I wasn't really expecting to stay here this long. I thought it'd just be for a year or two.
All of a sudden, a pensive mood comes over her. Isabella looks away then. While what's left of my little lecture never crossed the tip of my tongue, I don't allow it to. Because in each of those words she lets loose earlier is a small truth. Her stay has always been meant to be something fleeting. Earn some good money, go home. It's what she'd tell herself during her first year here. Now, half a decade later, I'm not sure she still believes that. Even I'm not sure if I still believe it. And if there's something in her reasons that has changed along the way, even if I already have a hunch, it's one thing I'll never bother to ask. Beep beep, those are hers to keep.
I'll be careful this time, I promise. Just please, can we give this whole thing a rest for now?
She nods at that, and it is the end of it. We spend the rest of the trip back to the Salem Well in silence. Is that the name of their apartment? All thoughts of the overactive imagination playing tricks on a flu-addled mind, and of smiles never meant for eyes abandoned, if only for a brief moment. And with that, it's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.